What's up everybody, Flying Scorpion here, and in this video I'm going to talk about Diablo 4. I got in during the open beta. I've played a fair bit of it today, several hours of it, and I'm pleasantly surprised. As someone who loved Diablo 2 and was disappointed with Diablo 3, and I pre-purchased Diablo 3 just with blind faith, believing that Blizzard would not disappoint me. I was pretty skeptical looking at this, but from what I've seen from other people, and finally now from trying out the beta, it looks pretty good. This looks a lot more like what I was hoping for from Diablo 3 back when that game was getting released. Let's go back a little bit first and talk about like hardcore Diablo 2 fans and what they were looking for. There's some really hardcore Diablo 2 purists that simply want Diablo 2 but with better graphics, and I think they got pretty much what they were asking for with Diablo Resurrected. One of the things that I don't like that they did with Diablo Resurrected is they sort of changed the look of the characters. Like, they made the barbarian look less like a superhuman, like monstrously buff guy, to more like an older looking guy that's not as ridiculously buff, and they made the Amazon look older as well. I don't really agree with that decision. They should have just kept it closer to what they look like in the original, but you know, whatever it is what it is. But other than that, Diablo 2 Resurrected should fit the needs of players, or as close as they can get to Diablo 2 but with better graphics. And I played Diablo 2 Resurrected. I really enjoyed it. The nostalgia factor felt so good. The nostalgia really felt enjoyable. But the problem with it is that there's nothing new in terms of content to it, and I can only grind Mephisto so many times for loot before I get bored and I want to move on to something else. The other thing too is there was no balance adjustments made as far as I can remember, nothing major anyways, and so there wasn't really a lot of room to experiment and try out new and different unique builds. It's pretty much the same builds as it's always been. Like, I tried to play a Golem Necromancer, and Golem Necromancers kind of suck in Diablo 2, man. Like, they just do. Maybe if you have like a really specific set of loot, you can make it work, but generally it's kind of like use the same builds as it was however many years ago. Was it 20 years? I don't even remember, man. It's been so long. So yeah, not really a lot of new content, not really a lot of new stuff in terms of gameplay mechanics or quality of life, and that left me kind of going, yeah, I had my fun with Diablo 2 Resurrected, but let's look now at Diablo 4. Diablo 4 is definitely a different game. It's very different. You don't have servers that you pick from in the beginning, and it's just sort of like this big open world. You can also re-roll your character, which I'm glad. I think that I'm honestly part of the majority of players that want the ability to re-roll your character. You know, sorry, I gotta stick it to you, the hardcore Diablo 2 purists, man. Re-rolling your character feels really good. It's a nice thing to be able to do. I think the biggest thing that I really like about Diablo 4, from what I've seen, is the artistic direction that they've gone in. Diablo 3 was more vibrant and colorful, and we all saw, I don't know if you guys know about this, but there was a sort of big outcry among players when we saw a rainbow in the background in one of the screenshots, back when they were leaking out images and showing what it was going to look like. And the developers really, I think they pulled a really stupid decision, and they kind of just shrugged off what the players were saying, and then in the face of what the players were complaining about, they had the audacity to just rub salt in the wound and add this Rainbow Ponyland map to the game, just as their kind of way of saying this is a joke level, but also this is the way we want the game to be, and we're gonna do this even if you don't like it, to the guys that were the hardcore Diablo 2 fans, which, you know, that's not a very good decision to make, in my opinion. But Diablo 4, I'm not seeing any rainbows, and the art direction is a lot more dark and gritty. The other thing too with Diablo 3 was it was more cartoonish looking. It looked more like, it was, the way I would describe it, wowified. Like World of Warcraft. I played a lot of World of Warcraft in my day, or back when it first came out, and it looked like the the art direction that they had used in World of Warcraft was very similar to what they used in Diablo 3, and it just didn't fit right, for me anyways. Here in Diablo 4, the art direction is not cartoonish. It just looks a lot better. The sound direction is also very good. It feels very meaty and impactful and satisfying playing the Barbarian, which is what I've been playing the most. I don't know about the other classes so far. The variety in the enemies is great, and you know what's cool? They brought back a lot of the enemies from Diablo 2. You're running into the fallen shamans that are resurrecting, the similar animations, similar sound effects. When you walk up to a shrine and activate it, it sounds just like it did in Diablo 2. When you go around, there's like the quill bears, I think they're called. They shoot the little spine needles at you. There's the fallen demons, man. I can't remember all the names of the enemies, but you got a lot of the same enemies in Diablo 2. The animations look so good. The sound feels so good. And ultimately, it was the sound design that got me to bust out my wallet and pre-order the game. As I am getting older and playing more video games, I'm really starting to appreciate the value of good sound design. And I think there's a lot of game developers that don't understand just how important it is to have good sound design. So when I heard the satisfying sounds in this game, I was like, okay, I'm going to support this. That's a good decision to make. The art direction's good. They followed the advice of players. It seems that they followed the advice of true hardcore Diablo 2 fans, and I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm excited for this game to come out. It's going to come out in about a month from now. It is a bit expensive, but you know what? I think that I don't know yet. We'll find out because the full game isn't out yet, and I haven't really played enough of it to know for sure. But I think that we're going to get our value's worth out of this game if we buy this game, as opposed to spending hundreds of dollars on a free-to-play mobile game that has loot boxes in it. Anyway, that's all I got to say. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.